So, funny story, Paul Stubber and Brad Steele. Skip Jackson, when the tobacco sponsorship thing became you can't do that anymore, Skip and Paul looked into changing Skip's name to Peter by deed poll so he could maintain Peter Jackson Racing.
Absolutely.
Hello, Paul Stubber.
Very clever indeed.
Good to see you, mate. Where am I? I mean, I kind of know where I am, but whereabouts, people that don't know, where are we?
Yeah, well, the exact location is 21 Wellington Street in Bunbury, in the CBD in Bunbury, and we're at the Bunbury Geographe Motor Museum.
And it's a lot more in town than I thought. I was expecting it to be like, as you come into town with those big industrial buildings or right near Bunnings, or this is downtown.
Yeah, that's right, in the CBD, and it's great. And I tell you what, you look in the visitors book there, and there's people from all over the world rolling through here now, so it's really starting to get a good reputation.
Now, obviously, the sprint car fans look at this stuff and they go, wow, because this is the Sean Carren collection, which is quite incredible, and Ronnie's Bunbury Toyota car is down again there as well. What made you start all this?
Well, as you well know, I've, Sean and I have been good mates. We've been known each other for a long, long time. And the museum has a policy where this row along here it's about 9 cars. We change them every 6 months, so that there's always something for the locals to come and see. Even though people are coming from overseas, but we still want to keep the locals coming through. And spoke to Sean about it, and we just thought it was a good thing. There's a little bit more action at the moment with the Motorplex has, got high limit racing coming and a few guys there. Just seems like it's got a great time coming for sprint car racing. Sean was keen to get them out and let everybody see them.
And they are tremendous. I have a favourite. It's the JPS car. It's just, I just remember seeing them at Speedway Park in South Australia in the mid-'80s when they came out, the 4 of them, and it was a game changer. But the Commodore 30s car is very famous. The Peter Jackson car, anything that's got Steve Kinser on it, including the big Buffalo Wings car that actually got stolen. This wing got stolen, and it was, well, it might have been copied. Let's just put it that way. Someone in Australia copied it. Then you got the Lasowski car that was one of the classic, and then over there got SK's car as well, which is very uniquely Bunbury. Like this car in particular, the Sanctuary Golf Resort car, which, Rady, you would have done the promo photos for at the launch.
Many years ago at the launch at the centre there, it was a pretty, it was a next step actually. It was one of the first times that somebody in sprint car racing made that move, and Shane really stepped it up when we went to this forward with this. And I always remember Pete, how proud Pete was at how Shane went about it and got the sponsorship through the Sanctuary Golf Resort.
And I think everyone had chambray shirts, as I remember. It was like the first time everybody had chambray shirts.
Yeah, and look,
I'm pretty sure Taylor was like brand new, if even just brand new. So
Very fresh, I think.
A couple of cool looking Holdens. Okay, I can commit that, but there's no Fords in here, Eddie.
Yeah, it's very disappointing in that, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I know, you're all about
Sorry,
the.
mate. It's in the small block Chevy.
You're not
all
sorry.
Small block Chevys. You know, I just got to keep up the tradition.
Walk me down this way and let's have a look what you got inside this place, because there's a lot of motorcycle history in here too.
There certainly is, and there's the Veterans Motorcycle Club down here in Bunbury.
Ah.
I mean, they're just the amount of motorcycles and the amount of cars which are tucked away in people's garages.
Yeah.
We didn't know. We sort of, people said, yeah, they'll come if we get this museum up, but I didn't have a clue because I'm not
Oh, that's a
local.
Victor Bray shirt. That's a Victor Bray Castro shirt.
Yeah.
How good is that? I talked to Victor quite a bit, and what a guy.
We've got all legends here, mate. Make no mistake, Like I said,
Yeah, the beachy thing's one of your favourites, isn't it?
very proud of that. Yeah, I mean to have Norm Beachy's, the first Australian touring car championship trophy of Norm Beachy, which he won in his blue Mustang, to have that in the museum, and it's pretty iconic.
Absolutely.
And Beachy's, he was a throttle stomper, tyre smoker, and he watched me race a couple of times.
Did he?
Came over and said hello, and we've become friends.
No
So,
way.
yeah, he and Margaret, I've had dinner at their place with them a few times in Adelaide, and
Wow.
and so that's why he sort of gave us a few bits and pieces. But yeah, we sort of roll on down here, and a lovely display. The Eagles' colours wasn't anything to do with the football; it just happened that way. So
I'm okay with that.
thought I'd mention that. But
And now I'm going to let my friend Ian McAllister is going to love that, because McAllister Ford from Young in New South Wales is up there, so he is going to absolutely love that you've got that here. Where do you get the inspiration for space? Because there's not much left, and you're constantly rotating the things you see.
yeah, most certainly. Just sit along here. These cars sit around for a bit longer. But even so, when something we just feel as though it's been there for too long, or actually really something better comes along,
Yep.
we'll look at it and one car will come out. But this is a bit more static down here, and same with the bikes and things. Naturally enough, we're not rotating bikes off the top rack there too much. And now, look at what we've got up there, the YZ Yamahas and the Hondas. And the
Yeah, Montesa. There's a Montesa down there as well.
Montesa, beautiful Husqvarna.
Any Bull Tacos or a BSAs?
I think there might be a bully down there too.
I think BSA stood for bloody sore ass, didn't it? Isn't that what I got told?
There's a what do you call it? The bloody Shiraz. There's a I saw it before. There's the usual BSA Bantam. This thing's a bit of a piece too. And really interesting to have that. That was a
Oh, wow.
van,
Yep.
which you can see it's in its day there.
It's a
It'd roll up,
broadcast,
yeah.
mobile broadcast.
Yeah, it'd roll up, and I don't know where they had their sheet or they put something up, but they bowled a local movie theatre, outdoor movies and stuff, and there it is, still in full form. It's still got its little toolbox in the side, and there's
Oh, yeah, wow.
Southwest. Phone Bridgetown. Phone number's 244. How far is that going to go back?
Do you ever have car cruises and or rallies and stuff where people do a big drive down and come down and pull up out here in that car park next door? Are you doing sort of annual stuff like that?
Most certainly, the car park it's utilised a fair bit during the week, but Sundays it's free. We've had the Corvette Club, Cadillac Club. Oh, I better think of a Ford Club, a Ford Club. But yes, no, there's quite a few.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
A couple of oddball ones, some Citroens and things like that have come down, which is
Guys,
the Citroen's a little bit of humour. Well, it was owned by a lady named Beverly Young, and she was the chief, I suppose, of the David Coulthard Australasian fan club.
Oh, wow.
So that's painted in his helmet colours.
Oh, wow.
Of the period, and he was supposed to have come over and driven it a couple of times in the classic rally.
Yeah, wow. Can't imagine why I didn't make it.
Yeah. So
They got a bit of everything.
classic Widowmaker. That's a bike that nobody should own.
Yeah, those things are powerful, weren't they?
They're just animals. And this here, again, I didn't know, but this guy's he's world
Yeah, Josh Dean, yeah.
triple. When I actually stood and watched the whole video and got the whole guff,
Yep.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, here we are, Josh Sheehan from just out the back of Donnybrook.
Yep.
He is the guru. These guys like all the guys from the X Games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, no, we're nothing. He is it. He is the man.
What do I spot down here,
so
Stubber?
cool.
How did these get in here, mate? Like now we're talking.
Well,
Now we are talking, mate.
belongs to a local gentleman. He won't want me to
Okay.
tell you his name, but it starts with K. But yeah, beautiful.
Local gentleman. Has the local gentleman driven anything else in this particular building?
Well,
Maybe right across there. Maybe I don't know. I just it could be a.
yeah, as I said, I think ultimately we've got a beautiful collection of bikes and stuff like that. It's just, but as I say,
Look at the Cordy. Wow, I've never seen a GT Cordy before.
Yeah. As I said, it's a local car, local owner, and anything like that.
So you keep everything local?
No. We've had some people come down, bring some charges and that from Perth. We
Yep.
actually had as I said up there, we kicked off with Holden because we thought that was appropriate.
Yep.
Next we went to Ford, and then the next we went to Chrysler. We had a couple of people from Perth bring down some beautiful charges. I'm not sure what
Hey,
we had
Charger.
after that, but
How good was that?
well, that was actually cool. And then we had panel vans there for a while, so you can imagine some of a bit of humour there with the there was some decked out Sandmans and stuff like that, and the girls are let's just keep this calm. There was there was some education on that about where the term sin bin came from.
Oh, there you go.
If it's rocking, don't come a knocking.
Yes.
Or,
Shag and wagon.
all that.
The Indian is gorgeous.
Eh?
Look, the Indian is gorgeous. Look at that.
Yeah, and that's a local chap's bike. As I said, there's some of the stuff that is collected around the place. Bunbury's, I've only been here 15 odd years, so I'm not even close to a local. But boy, oh boy, I certainly have met some people that have been here a long time.
Yeah.
And there's been, because Bunbury's had racing around town. Its culture is certainly here. So, and we're actually promoting bit of a plug now. In March 1 and 2 is we have the third year of the Bumpers and Beats Festival, which is fundamentally rock and roll and chrome bumper cars, and so we're blocking off the main street. The main street's just going to be all cars, all on display, and over at the Bicentennial Square at the stage there. I think over the course of the weekend we've got 6 bands playing, and
beautiful.
It's all cool. And as I said, Bunno's got a great automotive
Bunno.
history.
See, now I know. Now when you say Bunno, now I know. It's fantastic, this place. So how do people, is it a Facebook thing? There you go. There it is.
There we go, yeah. It's got a solo bike there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it would have come through, as I said, a lot of those Jawas up the top actually belong to the Gill family. That would have come through. I'm sure it would have come through Ron Gill motorcycles up in Southport Street there over the years.
There's a lot more space than I realised. When you go to very subtle looking front door, and then you walk in and the building just goes, this thing's pretty mean. Paul, you know much about the Camaro?
Yeah, well, like I said, I just mentioned earlier, that we're pretty proud of that. Patrick Van Brackle, Matt, myself, and helped with a few other people painting and stuff, that we had some Kiwis come over to Australia in 2005, and they raced it at Sydney Motorsport Park.
Yep.
And we couldn't quite catch up with them, so we decided to build a car. So we built that car here in Balcatta to their set of rules in New Zealand, took it over and won their championship. So we're still pretty proud of that, and we still remind them.
So that was the underarm bowling incident of motor racing pretty well then. That was the chapel.
You bet.
You go and beat them at their own game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun. Yeah.
The place looks fantastic. So what is the Facebook page, Paul?
Oh, I guess it's got to be BGMM, but it's a Bunbury Geographe Motor Museum.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I tag everybody
thank
in
you
this.
very
They need to come down and thanks for catching up with me, Paul. How was it? How did you meet AJ Nylander? Let's go back a minute here,
Oh, wow, now.
because that's where it all got, you started getting dirty then, right?
Absolutely, really, and I think that was just a case of he had his shop in Aussie Park. You'd drive along, I'd be on my push bike or whatever, and you'd hear some motors getting revved up, and I'd just, inquisitive little kid, I'll stick my nose in anywhere, so I poked my nose in there, and I knew him then, and then eventually, when I'd been circuit racing for a little bit, and we just had this sort of, what do we do? Alan got me at the right time and said, come and have a look at this, and Speedway. Well, we've been into it for a while. We raced the sprint cars, super sedans for a little bit, sprint cars for a bit, and I look back on my sprint car career, and I'd have to say it was all brains and it was all balls and no brains. I certainly certainly learnt to flip them pretty well.
Well, you flipped a Super Sedan too, as I remember at Claremont. Turn 3 and 4,
I
Pitts
think
Bend.
there's only half a dozen that have that claim to fame.
Yep.
But honestly, Wade, Ron Pine got me back into late models, and I'm just so pleased he did. I mean, I said I'd do it for 5 years. We did it for 8. We've wrapped up now, but that was good fun.
When you said you did it, mate, you did more than did it. You did it on two corners of the globe. United States and Australia, and won an Australian championship in Sydney, which was an incredible moment for you when you think back. How long ago was that?
Yeah, it was 2019.
That was a race of attrition, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, yeah. I mean, we got caught up in a bingle, I think, about lap 3 and got put to the back. And we just sort of thought, well, we're going to come from the back.
And it's not that it was a shock win, but it was a shock win.
Yeah,
a West Aussie to come over and win in Sydney wasn't easy.
And to be honest, we thought we were a front runner at the time here, and the majority of the hard racing was being done here. So, we started the race in the first three rows.
Yep.
That was our goal when we got there. Start the race in the first 3 rows. Just so I made a blue and got kicked back.
Yeah.
But we still came through.
Robbie Farr was looking very, very good in that. Ran out of fuel, if I remember rightly. So
yes, exactly. Yeah, he would have. I think it would have been a really interesting exercise if it was him and I at the front, because I think ultimately the chap that was at the front was just putting around he wouldn't get off the curb, and of course, we're not a curb dweller.
No.
No. And nor is Robbie. So we would have raced for it. That's for sure. But yeah, had a lot of fun. I got to say, the racing in America has just been. It's nice here, but the racing in America is just another level.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate to race over there and actually, be the first Australian to compete. We're what they call 100%er.
Yep.
In the Summer Nationals. Because the first time we did it. It was 32 races in. I think it was about in 5 weeks. And so you really only had Monday off. They had Monday off, Monday off, Monday off. And of course, if they'd had a wet day, well, then they ran it on a Monday. So, But I remember, to be perfectly honest, with a few dropouts and this and that, we did run 28 races, in the space of sort of four and a bit weeks.
And not just your own career, but you supported a lot of young talent and take them over to the States as well. So thank you for doing that, Paul, because you didn't just put yourself as a driver, you're a car owner and gave a lot of young kids that couldn't afford to do it, you gave them their dream, mate.
Yeah, no, most certainly. And I certainly applaud them too. Not just the driving aspect, but we made ourselves, we're an Australian team, Australian crew. We had some young guys that came over, Wade, they had never been on a plane. The other sort of, I think the youngest was about 18 or something, but I can't remember all their names, but we certainly know them all. But yeah, we got never been out of Australia, never been out of a plane, and I remember one youngster, I can't think of his name, but I rang his mum and, because he was young. I've rang his mum and said, hey, believe me, we'll look after him. Something goes wrong, we'll look after him. And she said, oh, thanks for calling, He was a whippersnapper. And she's let him go for a start, which is great. So, yeah, the guys that came and crewed with us were as integral as Kai, who did the driving, and myself and my wife and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of guys that I know have had.
We need to mention Alice. Alice is an absolute rock star. How on earth she's kept you in check over the years, I have no idea, Paul. Yeah. And that's where Palace comes from, right? With your property development company. Yep.
Yeah. No, she's an absolute gem. She just lets me have so much rope. It's just unbelievable.
No argument there, Addy, is there really?
No, but I know when she yanks it, it's time. So there's a lot of respect. Yeah, that's good. So here we are now. We moved to Bunbury and very, very happy here. Loving it, actually. Little lovely, gorgeous little town.
Where's Bar 31, Paul?
Just over the road.
Oh, is it just over the road, Ratty, is Bar 31? Yeah, I was going to say a few of us have. I remember Morgan Melbourne and people like that showing me in that place at one point. Yeah. This place is amazing, Paul. People need to come and check it out. It is absolutely incredible. So I'll put the link up and the address up to come along and check it out.